Hello, good morning wherever you are. Uh, this is my last ITSL 2020-21 game organised by Luis Vasquez. To put this into perspective, Matt Daniel has a 66% win rate as the USSR, so a very strong player on that side of the table. Ratings in the 1500s, but that doesn't belie things, I think. Last game in the league, player in the next place is already 15-5. I'm 15-4. So if I lose this, tiebreak for the division win goes down to strength of schedule. And since I'm too lazy to do maths, what I mean is I'd really like to win this game and not have to worry about strength of schedule tiebreaks, etc. Plus the person second beat me earlier in the league, so if that's a tiebreak before strength of schedule, then I'll lose that tiebreak automatically. So there we go. So yeah, fingers crossed, right? Let's hope for a decent pull out the blocks. No 4-op cards to start the game. Headlining Captured Nazi is probably fine here. We'll get a chance hopefully to drop Europe's scoring. 4-4-2, not 5. Looks fine to me. And we'll headline Captured Nazi, right? Yeah, there's no reason to make another play. Okay, so first of all, we'll keep track of what cards I have. That's a Europe scoring. Oji, NORAD, Fidel, Cambridge 5. Cambridge 5 at the end of the turn. Ideally not eventing Fidel, because we don't have any kind of DEFCON suicide traps anyway right now. Yeah, we'll go Capture Nazi here. No reason to drop Europe scoring in the headline. We'll get the 2VP for space first. Right, so yes, ideally no Red Scare Purge here, otherwise Blockade can crucify us. I might try and get Fidel off to space. If they contain us at the end of the round, we might get the opportunity to space NASA as well, which wouldn't be bad. Rather not event it. Got to keep a 3-op card for Blockade. Can't play Cambridge 5 until late in the turn, so we've really only got Northern Olympic Games to start the turn off, and we get Purge. That is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Well then. That does not bode well. So now we can't space Fidel. Man, oh man. That is very nasty. If they've got Blockade as well as Defectors in their hand, we are off to a rough start. And a NATO coup for good measure. Holy crispy crap. Oh, this is bad. Bad, 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 bad. Oh boy. Nope. Let's drop Europe scoring now. Ugh, yikes. Well then. It's been nice leading the division. But it may come to a very abrupt end with Europe control. Oh boy. Nasty. Well, that headline in AR1 went just about as badly as we could possibly have hoped. I mean, you know, I say just about because they could control Italy right now. That is just, ooh, pure anguish. Alas. So 4 ops would fill France and Italy. Might just go to fill France. Okay. That could have gone worse for us. So we're going to put 1 in Lebanon to threaten Middle East domination and 1 in France, just in case they blockade us and we can pop some influence back in West Germany. They're likely to coup Iran here anyway. But I kind of want to draw them into that just in case they were thinking of doing something fancier. Well, now I will event Fidel and keep Nasser, because I don't want to turn Middle East control over. Diabolical. Oh, special relationship's nice. Puts another one in France. Generous. Might be trying to set up the Spear line. In Iran. We'll pop 2 in Pakistan, encouraging them to coup. I hope to go to Malaysia at some point as well. Obviously I now don't need to worry about blockade holding 3-op cards, as disastrous as it is. If the coup underperforms, we can recover Pakistan. If it overperforms, we'll fill France. Going for it. I'd like a miss, please. Thank you. Another 1 in Pakistan to stop the shiny card flipping it. Now, if they coup Iran, I will use Fidel so that they then can't play CIA at the end of the turn. Well, that's tragic. Yeah, Yugoslavia is fine. If we find a way of somehow flipping Italy, it removes control. But that's come along at a poor time. Okay, we will use Fidel to finish taking France. And then AR6, Cambridge 5. Probably into Malaysia. Although if we get a coup off, we protect Pakistan. So a false coup on Iraq might be an option too. Let's see if we get blockaded, of course. Now would be the time. And it would be absolutely gross. Thank goodness we survived the worst of it. Getting purged AR1's no fun, but to be fair, we're not dead. So we coup Iraq just to get. Well, it gives us a mil off, but yeah, but it keeps DEFCON down. Yeah, okay, we'll do it. Unsurprisingly, it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, that could have been so much worse, I can't even begin to say. And we got to Gaul, which is nice. We could drop Middle East scoring in the headline. Which is probably best holding Nasser. We're hoping to see no D-style, which they'll only do if they're holding defectors as well. Formosa, East European unrest, Korean War, and we've got the other 2 scoring cards. That makes 8. 10 discarded, 3 removed, 11 discarded. What did I forget already? They used Comic-Con for ops. There we go. Up to speed. Middle East in the headline then suffers only when specifically D-Style is headlined. Asia scoring's another option, because of course decol, but we're 1-1 at the moment. So I think Middle East scoring to start. Vietnam Revolts is Trixie. Let's see if they get greedy and have a coup first. Because if they do, we drop Asia for nil. If they play into Thailand, we have a hard time. Well, actually, tell a lie. If they play into Thailand, we play 3 into South Korea and 1 into India. Hope to fade Indo-Pakistani war. And in the end, they got greedy anyway, so... Yeah, we're going to be risk averse with it dropping. We'll drop Asia for 0. The other decision was 2 into Iran. And hope to outrace Asia. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Oh, got greedy. Wasn't punished. So we can retake Iran and play into Malaysia to force them to take Thailand. Very lucky. So now they have to take Thailand. I may have to use Marshall Plan for ops just to stay ahead. 2 into Egypt. Try and run up country count in Asia. That does threaten Middle East domination, but I'm not quite sure I have another option. Okay, Independent Reds is gone. This will be Thailand and Laos. Yeah, so we'll take India and move to Egypt, signalling that we're unlikely to be fighting in Europe, but we've got wars on a number of fronts. We've seen no D-Style and decol as well, so we will need to play into Angola soon to get into Zaire. Lots going on. So they may want to play into Burma here now just to make sure, yeah, that I can't. And overtake from Thailand's good. They probably should have played into Malaysia to get to Indonesia. Okay, so we will play into Angola and Libya. Yeah, that's fine. We're hoping for a late containment so we can space NASA. Of course, if they blockade us, we can't. Because that would necessarily... Well, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. What's bad here? Socialist governments and Suez is quite nasty. And obviously if they have D-Style or decol, we've got a problem. Okay, using Suez for influence suits me, alright? Because it doesn't overly threaten France. So yeah, start pressing around here. So we space Korean War. And if they contain us, we can space NASA. If they blockade us, we have to event NASA, but we can take Libya in the process. And avoiding Indo-Pakistani War and eventing US-Japan is enough to keep us in the hunt in Asia. Oh boy. If they do contain us, another option is event de Gaulle, repair France, and put one in Libya to get domination in the Middle East in the headline. That appears to have gone offline. Maybe gone to make a cup of tea. Wait and see when they're back. So what's troubling is that we're at the end of turn 2 and we've not seen decol or destyle. So in an ideal world, we get dealt both those next turn, don't get purged, can punt decol to space and blockade away destyle. That would be a dream come true. Otherwise, we face a lot of problems still. So, yeah, going to be going into the turn at -1. I don't know. We're in better shape than turn 1 AR indicated. So ideally we'll see containment here, which allows us to juggle some tricky cards. And, you know, most of ideally all we do not see decol or D-star. Of course, if they do move containment, they should put 3 in South Korea. Blockade for influence, fine. Will event and repair de Gaulle? Yeah, lamentably. But we'll be greedy, although we know socialist governments is still in the deck, don't we? We will not be greedy. Not the time for greed. Okay, decol D-style. Decol but not D-style. Fair enough. Marshall Plan denies NATO, but containment gives us a boatload of ops. Okay, so they got duck and cover, US, Japan, and UN intervention, which is really good for them. Along with SOCGov. Oh no, we got SOCGov, duh. They got D-style and Romanian abdication. And they can play Romanian abdication safely because independent Reds is gone. And we got Suez, NORAD, and Marshall back in the headline. So what are likely headlines? Blockade, fine. Purge would be bad, but we can hold Marshall Plan. Another reason, I guess, not to event that. So I guess we're doing containment. Arab-Israeli War, Korean War, Cambridge 5 to see if we have a scoring card. Or Purge are the likely, not so great headlines. But we'll headline containment. Then at least if we get purged, we're no worse off. And we have got at least 5 extra ops we can make here. We can repair NASA to some extent. That does give domination in Europe, of course. So let's see if they drop it in the headline phase, which would be somewhat greedy. We'll wait for them to use UN intervention on duck and cover or US-Japan before playing into Japan to make sure we don't get dominated in Asia. Don't want to give away 4 totally free ops and let them use UN intervention on something else. And of course we know we're going to get destyled, which is not at all good. But now we can hold decol against blockade. We can even space NASA, space decol at the end of the turn. We can use socialist governments in Suez Crisis for neutrality. No, socialist governments is +1, of course. Okay, well that's good for us in a way. So I expect to see US-Japan here, yeah. Going big, but once again, not quite making it. So we will pressure D-style. Yeah, that's fine. Now they have to use 2 in Venezuela. That at least makes their life a little trickier, but not a lot trickier. The fact is they still have D-Star and can still exploit South America. In terms of parity, we'll be going in around where you kind of expect the scoreline to end up. The problems are Southeast Asia is a massive scorer for Asia, for the USSR, and they're relatively well developed around the board. But these first few turns have been the epitome of weathering the storm. Turn 1 looked awful. Turn 2, tempo was fine at least. But yeah, it's not great. Yeah, 2 there. Okay, well we have the advantage that they don't immediately press into Argentina or Chile. So our options are we can jam Venezuela, all 4 ops make Venezuela 3-2, but then we don't have a 3-op card to follow up Brazil, and if they play into Uruguay we can at least coup it. So we will instead take Panama, which is a little dull. Although if we do that we threaten the Middle East as well, though we now can't take Japan, but they've not moved on South Korea. So we've got options. They did call on Iran to start rather than drop Europe's scoring. Let's force them to use a 3-op card by tapping Panama up 1, but also taking the Middle East. This may force them to play into Saudi. rather than do something else. Okay, well, these three, if they don't repair Romania, it kind of implies they're not fussed about Europe scoring this turn. It shows they're more interested in Asia. So, we'll take Japan. And Panama. Yep. I think we have to do that. It's a signaling of intent. So, oh good. Intent signaled. So, tempo-wise, we're going to space NASA. Are we going to space NASA? There's an option to event it, repair it, take Libya. That goes down to 1-2. We can make it 3-2. What are we going to do with ANOP is the question. No, we'll space NASA for tempo. We've got another space this turn, even if they blockade us. I expect he'd duck and cover off to space here. Yep. And then we'll wait and see what their last card is. So we'll space decol, knowing that we can use... knowing we can use socialist governments or Suez at the end of the turn, even if they blockade us. We'll use socialist governments because then we get a clean op we can use to do something with. So we're going to go in at -4. Not great. I've been worse. South America's not as well developed as it could be. That's also a bonus. But yeah, tricky times. Tell me about it. Five-year plan. 3 free ops. Yeah, okay. We will resolve socialist governments. To be expected, but we'll put 2 back in France and tap Venezuela, because if they fail the coup, or we get to do something first, like put 2 in Brazil and coup Venezuela, that's nice for us. And we're already dominating Europe. That's fine. I can live with that. We'll add the mid-war cards. Southeast Asia scoring is a disaster. South America scoring is not currently a disaster, but we have no way of dropping DEFCON in the headline. Man, that's not a nice hand. Thanks a lot. Southeast Asia, South America. We can gamble on South America scoring for sure, but whew, that's dicey. Salt. Portuguese Empire. Usury. Special relationship. And the quark. I mean, in the absence of another headline, we could use Usuri to take the China card, but maybe gambling on South America scoring is not a terrible idea. And we really want an ask not in an ideal world. Anything to salt? Not currently. Oh man. I can see us getting one small step too. So rapid spacing is in order as well. Yeah, let's gamble. South America scoring. Hunter is our undoing here. Why not? Okay, lads is good in a way because we've just burned the biggest risk. We now need to remember to take Mexico if they coup Panama. We don't yet need to event shuttle diplomacy since we dominate the Middle East, but Muslim Revolution might change that. So the coup's probably on Panama now as a result of that. Nice cheeky 2 points though. Could be worse. So we'll hold Southeast Asia for as late in the turn as possible, praying for an ask not. Oh, cooing with one small step is brilliant for us. The result is not, but beggars can't be choosers. Signals Africa's much more likely to be in play. So first thing we do is overprotect Angola. We'll move to Brazil. I don't like attacking unscored areas, but I also want to consolidate for later in the game. Yeah, in many ways that's a bit bland, but we're going to do it. Need to remember, blockade is still around, so keep some of those red 3s. Really glad to see one small step go that way. But next up we want to take Mexico. But I feel like if we didn't take Brazil then and there, we probably weren't going to. South Africa unrest is tricky for us in Africa. But if we're lucky, we're only a brush away from getting in the hunt in Italy. This is fine. Okay, so we know they don't have it, but we're going to take Mexico now. Because we've got tempo to take Libya and Israel. Yep. Man, I'd really like an ask not. Pretty please. Uh-oh. Ooh, got lucky again. Okay, so we can retake that. We can use shuttle diplomacy to take Libya as well. Man, oh man. To say I've been lucky here has been an understatement. So we will don't know. So the thing is, I want to take Portugal. Will this succeed? Because that changes our space plan. We'll use the tempo to space Portuguese Empire crumbles, and we succeed. That's nice. I was hoping for 2 spaces this turn, but we still have the chance of getting to the peak and the 3VP first, having seen one small step go. It means eventing and repairing Suez at some point, because we can't event Quagmire, and we want to avoid missile envy. Being missile envied into Quagmire. Oh man, an Arse Not in the next couple action rounds would be so sweet. The playing to Saudi makes me think they've either got Muslim Revolution or Middle East scoring. Okay, Formosa's in place. So there's a chance to dominate in Asia, but notwithstanding the fact that they have a ton of battlegrounds. Where did the money go? Taiwan. Okay, so they just event and deny. We kind of want some ops to see the round out, so I'm going to event Suez. Get it out the deck. Repair France and not repair the UK immediately. I think AR7 we want to play into Portugal and West Germany. Although we're now with the one out of the UK as well. Blech. I don't know. It's not good. Oh, 2 out. Okay, well that's could be worse. So with the one in Israel, meaning they still can't take a 4-op card. We'll also take West Germany back. Come on, Arsenal. Of course, it would be typical if I got Lone Gunman asking for Arsenal. But I'd really like it. It would go down a storm. Yes, I'm not going to play into Portugal just in case it triggers them playing into Greece. Oh man, so many 4-ops. You are living the ops dream. Overprotect, overprotect, overprotect. I mean, fine, I guess. I could salt AR7. Oh no, but my mill op's going to be terrible. Yeah. Yes. I can't sort ABM to Q Italy because my mill ops will be a disaster zone. Oh. I don't know why I'm still praying for us not right at the close, but so worst case scenario, I play Salt, we get Missile Envid, we're quagged, and I have to play Southeast Asia scoring. On the other hand, if I play Southeast Asia scoring, I give up Salt and 4VP instead of being quagged, so they're bad either way. So I suppose the best thing to do is to play Salt and accept my fate if it comes off badly. Let's tap Cuba and pull a VP back from Southeast Asia scoring. Lame, I would say. But come on, Middle East scoring. Be good. It would barely offset Southeast Asia scoring. I'd really rather ask not. Come on, Arsenal. Drum roll. Well, poop. They had Muslim Rev, not Middle East scoring. It is as I forecast. It was one or t'other. So we eat Southeast Asia scoring, which is not good for us. Central America scoring and Africa scoring both also not good for us. But we have VOA, which is nice. And we also got Indo-Pakistani War, which is lucky for us. Hopefully with VOA we might be able to dodge both nasty scorers. We hold Quagmire for blockade. So I reckon we go Panama Canal returned into Voice of America. Hunter's bad for us. Every other card's alright because then we can VOA, we can remove them from Zaire and or Panama and try and score both Africa and Central America for as close to 0 as possible. Yeah, it's not great. Liberation Theology is also kind of crummy for us. Yeah, so South Africa unrest in the headline gives them domination in Botswana. So we can't headline a scoring card comfortably. So let's go Panama Canal returned. And after a bad coup from them, hopefully... Oh, not even that. Okay, so hopefully after a bad coup from them, we can cause some havoc with Voice of America. So coup on Panama or Angola here. Panama succeeds, but not for the magic number. So we take them out of Panama and Zaire. Yes. Yeah, I was just checking. They've had every 4-up card except Marshall Plan since turn 3. I think I've had Marshall Plan twice, so beautiful ops advantage. Okay, so we will seek to take Zaire and dominate Central America and try and press ahead there. Liberation Theology and Hunter are tricky for us. Oh, brushes too. Come on. Oh man, that's gross. We're going to play Africa scoring now. So that turned it from 0 to -4. But we're going to try and take Central America for domination for a measly 2. We've got Indo-Pakistani War to get our mill ops. But things are rotten in the state of Denmark. In fact, Europe scoring ends the game, so should have thought of that. Emit to space. Yeah, it doesn't want us to see anything now. That's fine. Okay, gonna have to give up the VP. setting up rear lines, but we're actually just going to drop the scoring card even if they coup. Kitchen debates can repair West Germany. We now know they don't hold Europe scoring anyway. But we are on the knife edge of defeat here. A VP will go a long way right now. Big overprotect. And 2 VP. Let's finish taking West Germany first. Retaking it. Nasty. We will still have to event Indo-Pakistani war to get Milops. Ugh. We'll do that now. Oh, we'll do Central America first, just in case we get something disastrous happen to us. Holy crispy crap, this is bad. So the 1 in 3 2 VP for Indo-Pakistani was pretty big. Yep. Let's do it now. Be good. No. We get our Milops, but we do not get the VP, which may make all the difference. AR7 was space, because we're now at the point where headline peaking. That's if we don't get Missile Ember. If we get Missile Ember, we're in the Quag, and we Quag out Korea. But if we can hit space and get headline peaking, we may get lucky. Although, you know, maybe we get less lucky because then they don't do something which potentially causes them to DEFCON suicide. Not that there's a lot in there now. We will bury you triggers first anyway. Yeah. Going all out on Africa is fine. So we space Korean War. We fail. Don't get headline peak. Alliance of Progress gets us 3 VP. We can bear trap them, so we can coup Zaire. We've got puppet governments, colonial rear guards. These are all pretty good. The question is, have they come too late? John Paul in the headline, of course, for Europe scoring, but that relies on them headlining Europe scoring. Although we probably want to do that because it's not been played. They're only a Warsaw packed away from punting it back out anyway. Well, this hand could certainly be worse. It's very blue. Alright, we'll go John Paul to avoid the threat of Europe. Purged again. Okie dokie. And if they're holding blockade, we can't defend Germany. Good thing we're eventing most of these cards, right? So I expect a coup on the Middle East, given Middle East also hasn't scored. But this is, yeah. Mexico and Brazil just to try and redominate South America. But Iran or Libya seems more straightforward, attacking the unscored region. So we'll look to event as many cards as possible. If they coup Egypt, great, we can event Sadat as well. That just seems unlikely. So a little coup. Went there instead. Alright, so we will bear trap them now. Yeah? Yeah. Does that... They've not couped Egypt. So we just use Sadat for the one op. We're not going to waste an additional op when we can't see anywhere necessarily worth putting it. So Cambridge 5 into Sadat. Man, this is absolutely on the fringes of doom. Retakes Poland. Ah, no, it does something else as well. South Africa. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. So we will event colonial rearguards and cause havoc in Africa. And before they finish repairing, if they don't use a 4-op card, we use Bear Trap to use Arms Race to take one of the African nations back. I'm hoping all this distracts from taking Poland and redominating, of course. Well, they didn't use Wheelberry for the 3VP as well, which is nice for us. Okay, good. So, event puppet governments. Get adjacency to Nigeria, I guess, with the 3rd. That's fine. We'll take Argentina with Arms Race to set up Alliance for Progress, getting an extra VP, ideally, because every VP counts now. Space Quagmire. So Nuclear Subs goes off to space. I guess we Space Quagmire before Missile MV now. Great. And we'll go Arms Race, Alliance, AR7 event Bear Trap. And pray, because we'll be at -16. Holy. And with Europe yet to score. Oh man, not good, not good. Maybe we want to Bear Trap AR6. In order to keep Europe at 0. Although, again, Warsaw Pact in the headline does the job even if they're... Okay. Oh dear, that's what happens when you gamble. Oh man, so Hunter, Arms Race, and now Event Alliance for Progress and Bear Trap AR7 is fine. Although if they don't take Poland this turn, perhaps the Bear Trap is still best even with Warsaw Pact in the deck. Good night, Vienna. as expected. Dodged the purge blockade the first time round, did not dodge it the second time round. Not a lot you can do there. Okay, so turn 7 deal, we need specifically Ask Not and Europe scoring in our hand. We get Ask Not, but not Europe scoring. That's a shame. We're just going to have to hope we get Middle East domination then. We're going to headline peak at least. But that's not good. We are probably lost here. Okay, so I think they're holding OAS, NATO, which is still viable. Let's tell me Brezhnev, cultural diplomacy. We've got Warsaw Pact. Did I see Junta when I looked over there? No, IND. Yeah, that's fine because that's what I thought they had. We had the discards, and we've also got Korean War back. So IND drops. Yeah, they're in great shape here. Absolutely fantastic shape. I think we have to drop Middle East scoring in the headline. Yeah. So they'll get a coup. And if they're holding Europe and Africa scoring, the game's over. I think we have to hold Ask Not. Ah, we get the coup, of course. Oh, thank goodness. I'd forgotten about bear trapping him. And with Missile is not bad. Right, so now we do get a coup on Nigeria. Yeah. Okay, so they've got Brezhnev, Cultural Revolution, Europe scoring, South African Unrest, OAS, NATO, and Lone Gunman. The fact they have Lone Gunman is good for us. But Europe scoring is going to put a real hole in things. Yeah, I need to hold Ask Not because obviously another anti-scoring card isn't in existence in their hand. If we can dodge war games, there is a way back into this game. I mean, that's fine. Do we want to event Nixon to force them to event cultural diplomacy, or do we hold on a bit longer? I think maybe we hold on a bit longer, right? Alright, we are going to pump Chile to then try and set up realigns on Venezuela at some point. We know we've already lost Europe, so let's not worry about that. Or they then have to use NATO to take Chile, and then we can just realign on Venezuela at +1 and hope for the best. Two war cards as well. Yeah, got to fade war games. Oh boy. Of course, doing Warsaw first does at least trigger NATO, not that the UK's got anything in. But we are going to have some war cards being dropped. Yep, so take Chile. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll use U2 incident. What we'll do is we'll take the 1 in 6 chance of Arab-Israeli war triggering and set up double realigns in South America. Please no 6. 4 is fine. So, failing a coup on Colombia here, we can try and set up double realigns. Yeah, here's Europe scoring, fine. Okay, so now's the time to try realigns, right? Why not? Okay, got there in the end. Had to give up a VP to do it. Let's see if they event Cultural Revolution for another VP. A single op of influence. Yep, okay, right. So we play Nixon to stop him getting the VP. Because we know we have to event Korean War. Okay. Low. Oh dear. Let's get some nice big realigns then. Ha! Wrong way. Cuba now. That's not good. Hanging on by the skin of our teeth. Okay. We do at least get to headline peak, and we can throw away nasty cards with us not, but we are hanging on by a bare thread. So we will take Mexico and Argentina back and hope to fade Panama, but I think the game's probably going to be over before then anyway. ABM and Hunter and Purge are nice. If they play something that gives them a VP in the headlines, we can headline an even Empire. We're probably not looking to Arsenal anything this hand. But oh my goodness. If we can get influence in Europe, we can event special relationship for 2 VPs, but we are sailing so incredibly close to the wind. Aldrich Ames gets to take a card away. Purge or ABM, I guess. So we'll Hunter and hope they don't have war games. Yeah. If they have war games or a VP, we're dead anyway. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I suspect he'll take away either. But I suppose the fact that... Aldrich. Yeah. The fact that either Purge or ABM come into play. I want to drop Defcon and hope for no war games. Although actually, rather than Hunter, ABM putting 2 into the UK... and allowing myself a counter coup might be better. Yeah. Although that then raises Defcon to 4 and I've shown I have Asia scoring. So it's not good. Although I'm going to show I have Asia scoring anyway. But I have Arse not. So they have to take Arse not. So maybe ABM is better. Another great hand here, by the way. Credit where credit's due. ABM in the muck, yeah. So we will go ABM. Reveal we have Asia scoring. But then they pull Arsenal. God, what an idiot. We won't do that. We go Hunter to drop Defcon, so they then see we have Asia scoring and have to pull Arsenal, otherwise they're pulling ABM. So Hunter keep ABM. And if they have war games, that was all for nothing anyway. Fine. Read 'em and weep. Please take ABM or Purge rather than Arsenal. How many cards that give VPs? OPEC. Okay. OPEC's the only one that confers immediate VP. But it's probably still a good game. Well. So it's been great fun at the top of the division for 19 games, or however long it took me to get up to number 1, but I'm probably going to drop into the silver playoffs. Sorry, the lower bracket of the playoffs by the last game of the season. Tragic, but probably fitting. Slightly longer slog in the ITSL playoffs, but you know, making playoffs is still fun. Purge is gone, okay, so they're letting me ask not, which is fine. Fails. And if you've got war games, it's good game. Okay. Don't want me cooing. So we now use ABM Treaty for ops because we can't coup. Play into Uruguay to set up, well, to stop them setting up realigns, and now we event special relationship. We probably event 5-year plan at some point as well. Yeah, that's fine. Can't be helped. That's going to end the game anyway. At least we know they don't have war games. Can't get the score line down any lower. 4 VP. Yeah, it still doesn't matter. So it's event special relationship and put 2 in Italy. We definitely want to event emit. Yeah, good game. Well, that's the end of that. Looks like I'm finishing in second place for the ITSL season. I hope you've enjoyed the watch along. Playoff games to come. I've also got the end of my crucifixion in the Rutzel League to deal with, where I'm something ridiculous like 1-6-1 or something crazy. Alright, that's that. Thank you for watching. Feedback's welcome. I think to some extent with the double purge and the blockading, while there may have been missteps, this was one I think I seemed destined to lose. So if this drops me to second in the league, it just means more bloody games to record, eh? Happy days. So, alright, thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Comments are plenty welcome, and I will see you next time, whenever that is. Bye for now.